It's good. It calls for focus and, you know, keeping.
And when you take cricket biscuits, it calms you down. You know?
No, you're spoiled.
Very, very, very interesting text right there. First of all, Ken, let's react to some of the tenets that have been highlighted by Dr. Tobias. Now, of course, there's the commonality on the issue of energy, fuel specifically, but digitization. And I know he mentioned the issue of free visa, which we've seen sort of a double tech, sort of a double-edged sword, because the people feel, yes, it's a good thing, but again, I mean, these waiting times, some of these challenges that could be done away with. From where you sit, this element of digital superhighway, how can it be utilized to the maximum of its capacity to make 2024 a better year for Kenyans?
I think digitization and broader technology can be a game changer in terms of particularly spaces where there has been a lot of manual interaction, a lot of revenue leakage. Digitization has the ability to not only bring speed, but also to bring efficiency in terms of revenue collection. In fact, we are seeing the counties, like Nairobi County, I think, have said everything now will be on digital platform, whether you're paying your land rates, whether you're paying your parking, everything will be digitized. So it will help the county to be able to raise revenue. And also broader digitization themes, even things such as AI, I think will have a big impact, not just this year, but also next year. I think the challenge, though, has been maybe around the applications. Maybe how are we creating systems that can be depended on? You know, the other day we saw how mobile money went down and almost the whole country came to a standstill. So are we creating enough risk mitigation so when the digital solution is not working, we have backups so that we don't bring the whole country to a standstill?
Definitely. In fact, it reminds me, some people are eating in a hotel. It's time to pay. And you're trying to pay. And like, neza niletea sosa kwanza nione isimu iko na shida ama nini. And there are some people also, you know, in some instances, you are in a matatu. You are heading to a standard group from town. You wanted to pay via M-Pesa, and you don't have hard cash on you. So you're taken to Cabanas, the final destination, as we wait for the M-Pesa to come back. It was quite an interesting day. I know, Dr. you're not impacted, Prof. How were you impacted?
I was impacted. My daughter was not able to travel from one point to another because she only had money in the M-Pesa, and where she was now, she could not be able to pay through M-Pesa because the services were stalled. So she was there stranded.
Nice. That's very interesting. And I'm glad, even from these discussions, I normally learn a lot, especially for my future sons and daughters now. I'll be telling them, you know, hard cash is very important, you know, at the same time. But Prof, reacting to the presentation that Ken made, I know he highlighted one of the big issues that we face as a country, the issue of debt management. And majority of these reforms that we are seeing in this country is pegged on this issue of we owe, we have debt. We have to raise revenue to service that debt. We have a Eurobond that is maturing. What exactly, how do you think the government can better handle this issue of debt?
The issue of debt management is very critical because it is compacted by the fact that the dollar, which is the major currency of paying the debt, is also rising, so the debt continues to increase. One of the ways in which the government will actually be able to use to handle this is to ensure that we are able to minimize our spending in terms of what we call fiscal consolidation. Try to spend only when necessary. The only thing is that we rarely do what we say. We can say it very loud, but then doing it becomes a challenge. If we do that, then we are able to get some coffers where we can be able to take some money to repay this debt. So I think it's the fiscal discipline that must be sound as one way. Of course, I've spoken of the other ways in my presentation, which could actually be leading to now looking for more income to pay the debt. But the nearest one is consolidation, true fiscal consolidation.
Definitely. And gentlemen, we have 2 minutes. Now I'm thinking, since this is the first Biz Chat 2024. In fact, you're serving you tea. I mean, water. Maybe the future will serve with tea with cookies made from crickets. Yeah, but I really wrote on that. But Ken, for this year, especially on a personal level, for our audience, especially those who really love the analysis on BizChat, what do you think we should be looking forward to in the year 2024? And what are we doing different this year from your perspective, or what should we do different, briefly?
Well, I think Kenyans are becoming more and more enlightened in terms of what's happening in Kenya and beyond. And I think that should continue. I think prudence begins with always understanding your environment, understanding the opportunities, because the reports we talk about on this show should not just be reports. They should be a call to action in terms of either exploring an opportunity or mitigating a risk.
Yes.
So if you look at the Q3 GDP numbers, they should not just be numbers that should be on the screen here, but somebody should ask, what are the top growing sectors? And maybe in 2024, I can go and start a business. So if I'm seeing Treasury is saying food and accommodation is the top growing sector, somebody should sit back and say, maybe I should start an Airbnb this year. Maybe I should get an Airbnb and make some passive income from it. So I think we need that call to action, where it's not just analysis, but it's actually initiative now.
Okay, lovely. Briefly, because we are out of time, Prof, this year, what does it portend for you, your involvement in this show and whatnot?
More or less two sides of the same coin. I would talk of practicality. We intend that this time we will actually be very practical in terms of our analysis, and also touch on the real life, what the ordinary person is facing. So we translate that into what is real for the ordinary person. For example, if we pick on monetary policy, if we pick on the repayment of Eurobonds and things like that, we translate it to the ordinary person.
All right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Gentlemen, we've had a lot of fun today. Dr. Tobias Olueni has done his first presentation. He says that it is in his blood to do this. Also, we have Ken Gishinga, the maestro himself, who's done this over and over. And he says 2024 is the year of action, call to action. Not only presenting data, but how you can turn that data into decision making that can better your life. Well, it started on a high note right here in Business Today, BizChat, every Friday, 3 p.m. Make sure that you don't miss. My name is Noah Kipkemboy. I want you to now go and start enjoying your weekend. I don't know whether you have the budget for that, but that's a story for another day. Have yourself a good being. Up next, you have Miria KTN. Stay